I'm in a different locale today, as you can see.
You got guitars
hopefully
behind
the dogs
you?
don't bark. Yeah. You want to close your door? I'm sorry.
It's like,
It's kind of warm
I'm
in here.
dying. So hot.
It's actually not that hot today. It rained last night, so it's comfortable. But the heat's coming
Good.
back again. I have to show you this that I got for Abby, so she won't be watching this, hopefully. She's been asking for a new Stanley Cup for her birthday. And she's very specific about the colors, the style, because I found some really cute ones off-brand. It's got to be Stanley. And I found some cute Stanley colors that I thought, there's one called Latte, and then they're also releasing one called Mocha Latte. I think they're beautiful. Nope, done. I don't want that. I want beige or gray, beige or gray. So I got her this little tiny keychain, and the lid comes off, and you can put lip gloss inside it, which is really cute.
Oh my gosh. That's so cute.
And then when she opens it, I'm going to be like, is that not the right color, honey? I thought you wanted a Stanley Cup. And then we'll have the real one in the real color waiting in another package.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I got her plain white Nike socks. That's what she wanted.
She'll
no
like that.
color. White only.
Yeah, she was telling me that too. And I said, I saw some really cute Adidas ones with like some really fun earthy colored stripes. And she goes, Adidas? Nana, no. I'm sorry. I didn't.
They're just as good.
They're cute. But I was the same way. You know, you have to have, what did we want? San Francisco riding gear jeans. Had to be San Francisco. It couldn't be an off-brand or Star Jeans. Yeah, you had to get the official brand name. So you just weren't cool.
Well, yeah, it was like if you came to school in like LA gear jeans, it was like, oh, you went to Walmart for those. Didn't you?
Yep.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. Well, anything exciting going on this week besides your Stanley birthday shopping?
I'm having my second pumpkin latte of the season. And what I'm doing is, because I have a blog, Ramble and Prose, if you want to check it out. I'm going to be getting pumpkin spice lattes or whatever they have, pumpkin sauce lattes, pumpkin pie lattes from all over the South Sound. And then I'm going to write a review on my favorites. And this one's from Cove Coffee in Port Orchard. It's delicious.
Ooh. Did Hallie make it for you?
She did. Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Yeah. You know, I had an idea, and maybe our listeners don't want to hear this, but oh well. I was thinking that for our Instagram content, we could start doing more like Hallmark moments, like things in our everyday life that we see that are like Hallmarky.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Like a cute fall decorated coffee shop, or, you know, I take my kids on day trips all the time. So like different places that feel like a Hallmarky town or something. I thought that might be kind of fun.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And that way it's just stuff that we're doing. And Danny could participate too, because it's just like if she goes out and she finds a cute bookstore, she could like take a couple videos and then we could post it. So,
yeah, because especially this time of year, bookstores are posting like on their end caps little cozy fall novels and little, you know, little decorations. And yeah, I think that's great. And that way you're kind of highlighting a local business as well. It's kind of twofold.
Yes. Yeah, I'll do one of our coffee shop because it's going to be full decorated for fall on the 4th. So in a few days.
Oh, fun. And so just for fall now and then spooky when we get towards October? Or are you going to change it up?
We should do spooky. Yes, for the shop, I'm going to do some spooky stuff for sure. So I haven't figured out what that's going to be exactly, but but I will.
We were at Home Depot and they had the giant 12-foot skeletons and then these giant Husky brand plastic bins. And it was advertising that our skeletons will fit inside this bin. But then where do you put the bin? Because they are enormous. It wouldn't fit in the
Yeah.
back of any
That's
car.
smart
You'd have to have a
though.
pickup. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a house near us who just keeps their skeleton up all year round and puts it in different outfits because they probably have nowhere to put it.
I think that's hilarious. Yeah, where do you store it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with these cool giant holiday decorations. It's like, where the heck am I going to
Mhm.
ever put that? I have no idea. You have to have a storage unit.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's that blow up pumpkin that I see every season on that one Instagram page. Oh, shoot. They do the hand woven wool sweaters. They're really cute.
Oh, it's
KJP, I think.
KD. Yes. Oh, they're sweaters. They're sweaters. I want one
One day I'll have
so
one.
bad.
I got one on Amazon. It's not the real deal, but it was $19.99 instead of $129. But they put that giant, I mean, enormous, as big as a house, inflatable pumpkin up every year. But again, where do you put it? It's got to be massively heavy.
You could like lose a child in there. Like, how do
Oh,
you?
yeah. One big wind, and you've got
Oh
a
no!
pumpkin blowing down the neighborhood,
Taking
taken
down the
out by.
town.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Now that's an
crazy.
interesting concept for a movie.
Yeah. Escape of the giant
Oh
pumpkin.
god!
I like it.
Yeah, and they do the Santa too, don't they?
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A giant Santa, maybe a snowman too. I can't remember. But yeah,
Oh,
that
fun.
Santa's got to be
Yeah,
like
my
50
yard's
feet
not
in the
big
air.
enough. Yeah, they're huge,
Mine is, but
massive.
again, yeah, where do you store it? And they're not cheap. Like
Yeah.
that pumpkin is over $3,000. We looked it up and thought, hey, that'd be cool. We have enough property. It was over $3,000. That's
No, thank
that's like a
you.
cheap car.
If you'd like to sponsor us, we will happily put it in our yard and
Uh-huh.
make some content
Exactly.
about
Yeah.
it.
Sure. Definitely.
Oh,
What about you?
oh my
Anything new
gosh.
this week?
Well, I don't know. We just recorded a couple days ago, so nothing
Yeah, you did
too
you
new.
said you did a book club this morning, actually. Book club. How did
Yeah,
that go?
this morning it was good. I am notoriously a person who doesn't really love like entertaining other people's kids. Um unless they're family.
Uh-huh.
But it was actually fun. I started this book club for my daughter because we homeschool and we needed community. And I think it went well. Some of the girls read the whole book, some of them read half of it. One girl didn't read it at all. She still came. Bravo to her. And
Good. She just wanted
yeah,
friends.
and so yeah. So we talked about the book and we did the project and then I was able to talk to one of the gals who came. She runs a secular homeschool co-op that's super local to us. So she told us about that. So we'll probably start going to that in September. And
Fun.
yeah, so I think it was really good, and they had a good time. And we're going to do it again next month. So we have to just pick a book.
That sounds great. I can't
Yeah,
believe we're
yeah.
in September very soon. And the amount of schools that have started already, like the ones that start 2 days and then they have a 3-day weekend and then they go back to school. It's crazy. The ones out here haven't started yet. They're not starting until after Labor Day this year. But there's so many that have. And you go a couple of days and then you get a little vacation.
Oh yeah, down here most of the schools started 2 weeks ago. So they're
Because it's so hot.
yeah, they're back in full swing. They're
Mm-hmm.
but they'll have Monday off. And some schools I think do Friday and Monday off. So
Nice.
we're not starting school till the second week of September. So we've got some
Mm-hmm.
time still until then. So
You have that flexibility when you homeschool a little bit anyway.
yes. Yes, you don't have to follow the public school calendar if you don't want to. Which
Mm-hmm.
is a hard habit to break, but
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
for
do
sure.
what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, All right. Well, this week we are diving into a movie that's a little bit different from what we would typically talk about because we don't typically do movies that are centered around a real life human being.
Hmm.
But this week we are. So one of the main topics of this movie is a natural disaster. So I was just wondering, have you ever experienced a natural disaster in your life?
I have lived through a few earthquakes. Apparently, well, I don't know
Hmm.
if I was born yet. When my brother was a baby, we're a year and a day apart, so I may have been very tiny or not born yet. But we were in California, and there was a pretty decent earthquake. And I remember my mom saying that that was back when cribs were on wheels, and we had hardwood floors, and my brother's crib just kept rolling back and forth with the earthquake. But we did have one when you girls were young, and I think you were at school, weren't you? You and Danielle were both at school. And then
Hmm.
Hallie was little. Ava wasn't born yet. And yeah, we dove under the table and rode it out. And you could see the deck, just this swooping, waving movement like ocean waves or something. It was the weirdest thing. And then everything was, we had a pot, I think we had hanging pots back then, and they were just swaying back and forth, and the lampshades were rattling. And you don't know when it's going to stop. It's crazy.
Yeah, I
Fortunate.
remember that day vividly because I was
Mm-hmm.
at school. Um, and they condemned our school afterwards and tore it down because it was
That's
so old.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they tore it down and rebuilt it. So the next year and a half, we shared school with another middle school and we had to go
Mm-hmm.
to school in the afternoon. And they went early morning. So it was weird
That was a
situation.
weird time because you guys wouldn't get off the bus until like 6:30 at night. It was completely dark,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you'd get home from school and be time to eat dinner, and it messed with the sporting schedule. It was all just very strange.
Yeah, we had to get like a special commendation from the president to say it was okay for us to go to school less hours than is actually
Mm-hmm.
required federally.
Yeah.
And because I think we went like 12:30 to 5:30 or something, and then the morning people went
Mm-hmm.
like early. Like I think they started at 6:30 or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very weird year and a half of school.
Mm-hmm.
Really bizarre. But aside from that, like I don't remember a lot of damage. I'm sure more happened, but that's definitely the worst
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
uh, earthquake
We've
I've
had
ever lived
ice.
through, I think.
We've had ice storms. We had that
Mhm.
one really bad ice storm where everything shut down for about a week, and you couldn't get near anywhere, and trees were just breaking off, and there was no power. It was very, very cold,
Mhm.
but it was nothing that we couldn't deal with. Like this movie we're going to talk about,
Right.
just unimaginable what they went through.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have a
Totally
piece
different.
of
So
dog hair stuff. When you live with a golden retriever, you always have hair everywhere.
it's everywhere.
Uh huh. Golden glitter
Oh
everywhere.
gosh. Yes. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, welcome to Love on the Pod, a podcast about all the cheesy romantic TV movies we adore. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Sherry, and this is not a romantic TV movie today.
Or cheesy. No.
Or
It's
cheesy.
actually a
No.
very well done. It's a
Hmm.
very well done, in my opinion, Lifetime movie, which is
Very intense.
honestly
Hmm.
shocking. So
Yeah.
um so yeah, today we are discussing the Lifetime film that is based on a true story. It's called Faith in the Flames, the Nichole Jolly Story. I do have a couple of small Hallmark headlines that I wanted to go over real quick. There wasn't a ton of
Hmm.
news this week, really, but I'll just give them to you real quick. Number
Sure.
one is it was just announced that James Denton from The Good Witch and Desperate Housewives, we love him. He has joined the cast of the Grand Ole Opry Christmas.
Oh,
So,
yes.
um, yeah, he apparently lives in Nashville and
Hmm.
he's going to be part of the movie. So I don't know what he's going to play or what he's
Do
doing,
we have
but
a
he's excited, he says.
Do we have a plot for that movie yet? Do we know what it's going to be about?
No. But it is the first time that Hallmark has ever partnered with the Grand Ole Opry, and this year is their 100th anniversary.
So I imagine some music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoever can sing.
Yep. Yeah, and I don't know if Nikki DeLoach and Christopher Palaha can sing. I'm not sure. I don't think I've
I don't
ever
think I've
seen them
heard them.
sing.
No.
Yeah. So who knows? The second one is if you do not have Hallmark Plus yet, they're currently doing a promo where you can get 2 months for $2. So you just use the code HALL2MO for what they describe as an unbelievable deal for the fall.
For fall.
2 months.
Okay.
Yes. 2 months for $2. And I'm pretty sure they're using ChatGPT to write their marketing. So maybe don't do that anymore, Hallmark.
Yeah. I've seen that a lot lately in a lot of different things. And I've seen ChatGPT enough to know now the certain catchphrases that they use and with certain themes of, I can't even think of it right now, but you definitely start recognizing them. And it's funny. It's like, you didn't even write that. Who are your writers?
Yeah. Yeah. And the overuse of emojis is a big one too.
Yes.
ChatGPT tends to use a ton of emojis.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's very recognizable now, I think, for the most part. So
yeah,
that probably won't last very long, but yeah, it's very recognizable. Also, Hallmark did release their fall 2025 lineup. It's all movies from Hallmark Plus. So if you haven't seen them, then good for you. If you have, there's nothing new for you. Sorry.
Nothing new? Oh, I'm going to have to change up my roundup episode idea then because I was going to focus all on new cozy movies. And I mean, we could do older movies, I suppose, but.
Yeah, they're doing all 3 of the Groomsmen movies. And then they're doing the bird watching movie with Rachel Boston and Andrew Walker. And then there was one more. Mommy, I can't remember. So, while I appreciate this like push with Hallmark Plus and trying to find a balance, I really they were so hardcore with trying to get people to buy Hallmark Plus that I'm like, I'm just thinking, obviously people who like Hallmark are going to be watching the channel and Hallmark Plus. So the fact that we're not getting any new fall movies,
so make it worth it.
Stinks. Yeah.
What's going on, Hallmark? Because Christmas in July was the same way.
Yeah.
You make these movies in 3 weeks. Why aren't you making movies? I don't understand.
Yeah,
there's not a strike going
on.
on.
Come to my house. I'll make a movie in my living room. It's fine.
Absolutely. I live in a cute small town.
Yeah.
Come here. Follow me around with your iPhone.
Yeah, we had a couple of new summer movies. I think there was that Double Scoop movie. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either.
But not a lot. So I at this point, Lifetime is winning the award of pumping out the movies in the last
new
6
movies,
months,
new shows, for sure. Yeah, and I feel like GAC is the same way. Nothing really new going on there either.
No, which is I think a little bit more understandable, just because my assumption is that their budget is much lower because they're a smaller company, but. Don't get me wrong, like the Groomsmen movies, I love them.
I'll watch them again for sure.
But but they don't really say fall to me at all. So I don't know. Anyways, so those are the updates / not really any updates, but that's
except for do we have a release date for the Halloween movie yet?
No.
Because that's one that is coming out on.
Yeah.
It's very nearly September. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah. You need to tell us, Hallmark. We need to know. We need to plan a movie night. We need to get the right snacks. We need to be prepared.
Exactly. The right cozy socks.
In our Halloween is cool t-shirts. Like, we need to be ready.
Absolutely.
I'm so sorry, Mr.
Oh, you just spit in my face. Okay, can you sit down and not do that again?
Okay.
He's so excited, Mom.
Let me just wipe the child spit out of my eyes.
Oh, speaking
All
of
right.
eyes, I tried to wear my contacts today, and I think I wear tinted sunscreen every single day now. If you're a younger person, start young because wrinkles are no joke. But I think I still had some on my fingers when I tried to put my contacts in, and the burn. So I took them right back out and said, "Okay, it's another glasses day." They're still watering. Hopefully I haven't lost any more vision.
Yeah. You get sunscreen in your eyes, it's over. They
For
water so
days.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awful. Alrighty, shall we jump into this film?
Yeah, let's do it. It's a heavy one, but let's talk about it.
It's a heavy one. Yeah. So the synopsis of this movie is that nurse Nichole Jolly begins a normal shift at the hospital in Paradise, California, until a fast-moving wildfire breaks out and the town faces mass evacuation. Rather than fleeing, Nichole stays behind, driven by duty and love, and works heroically to evacuate patients, assist injured residents, and ultimately locate her family amid the chaos. Through faith and courage under fire, she becomes a beacon of resilience, showing how one person's strength and compassion can save lives in the face of disaster. So this movie came out on July 19th of 2025, so not too long ago. And it stars the incredibly amazing person who continues to impress me over and over again, Miss Chrissy Metz. She is just a joy and a light, and I adore her. So Chrissy Metz, we know initially from This Is Us. If you watched that film or that series, she was one of the main characters, Kate Pearson. And then she's been in several things since then, although that show didn't end too long ago. It was what, maybe 2 years ago that it ended?
I think so. Something like that. I didn't ever finish it. I need to go back, watch the last few episodes.
Yeah, it got very heavy. I mean, it was a heavy show, but it got heavier. So I never finished it. But a beautiful show, really well done, well acted, well written, just all the way through. And then she is also one of the main characters in Hunting Wives, which is a new Netflix show that has taken off like crazy and was number one on Netflix for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
And she plays a really great role in that series. I didn't put any other actors because I felt like she was the star, right? There wasn't a ton. Like the other people were, everybody else was supporting her and her story. Yeah. So the director was Jazua Malherbe. And one thing to note is that 97% of the cast and crew were from South Africa. So some names are a little bit difficult to pronounce if you don't live there. Because they did film this movie in South Africa.
I read that. I was really surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
That's a long way to go for a movie that's about California. But it must have
a very
similar
long
terrain.
Yeah, and California is too expensive to film in. It costs too much money. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's so many films that are moving out of California because they just can't afford it. This director, he has directed a lot of things, but I think they're mostly South African pieces because I didn't recognize any of the things that he had directed before, but super experienced. And then the writer was Kelly Fullerton, who has worked with Lifetime and Hallmark quite a bit. She also wrote the new movie If I Run, which has the girl from Vampire Diaries in it, and I can't remember her name. But
If I Run, I haven't heard of that.
That's a brand new Lifetime movie. It may not even be out yet. I saw an ad for it. She also wrote 5 More Minutes, Moments Like These, that is starring Ashley Williams. And she wrote An Ice Wine Christmas, which I have not seen, but sounds interesting. So I might watch it.
Is that a Lifetime one as well?
No, I believe it was a Dove and then kind of distributed throughout the ranks to different people who wanted to pay for it. So,
Yeah.
Okay, and like I said, the filming location was South Africa, specifically in the Western Cape region, and over 97% of the cast and crew was comprised of South African actors and crew members, which is really cool. So,
Yeah.
apparently they have a really great film culture there and lots of very experienced crew members, and the locals are very happy to have movies filmed there. So they are helpful and, don't get angry when they shut streets down and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I can definitely see the appeal.
Yeah.
All righty. So shall we talk about our initial thoughts?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of this movie?
As you mentioned earlier, I thought it was really well done. I thought the effects were great. I thought the acting was great. The ensemble cast, they all just really supported the main character well. Um, you start out, you've got this workaholic mom as she's portrayed. I don't know how much of it is 100% accurate and how much of it is embellished a bit, but it sounds like she's a hardworking nurse. Her patients are very, very important to her. I don't know in her personal life, the real Nichole Jolly, if she tends to put her patients before her family, but in the story, that's where she is. And so her husband's frustrated. Her son's disgruntled. She never shows up to any games or school events. And so you've got this kind of strained family dynamic, but it all felt just really real and natural. And I think that the younger actors did a really great job as well, supporting the mom and the family. And it really worked really well for me. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Chrissy Metz had mentioned in an interview that I read that she was pretty sure this was the first project for both of the boys who
Oh.
played her sons. And I thought they did a great job. The dad was wonderful. I never would have guessed that he was South African. He sounded completely American. It didn't bleed like his accent. And honestly, none of the characters, like we said, I never would have guessed it was filmed in South Africa. So
No.
nobody's accent bled through, I didn't think at all. And obviously Chrissy Metz really carried the movie because she was the main character, and she's just such a beautifully talented actress, and is willing to look sweaty and covered in soot and messy hair and just do such a good job portraying this really brave real life person. And Nichole Jolly participated in the creation of this movie. So I would guess that a lot of it is as accurate as it can be. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yep. So I really liked it. I don't think that I would have guessed this was a Lifetime movie if I had not known.
No, me either. Because I watched it on Amazon Prime. So I didn't know before I watched it that it was Lifetime. And it just was really well done. And to your point about the messy hair, the soot on her face and the sweaty look and just really getting dirty and a little bit ugly for a role is something that I was so glad that they put into this, because sometimes you see these blockbuster movies and the heroine of the movie and she's fighting the bad guys, but her lip gloss is meticulous and she's got false eyelashes on and they haven't budged and her hair is beautiful and it's like, okay, come on. So I really like that they kept it more true to real life.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And I read a few reviews. Some people said the movie was terrible. There's always going to be those people, but several people I read reviews from actually lived in Paradise and were there during the fires and said this was a very accurate depiction of what it was really like trying to get out during this disaster.
So. Yeah, I feel like they did a good job kind of retelling the sense of urgency because they had minutes. Not very long to get out. Once they found out that it was spreading, they had very little time. Just grab yourself and your family and get out. Don't grab anything. And, of course, they were confined to time restraints because it's a movie, right? So they couldn't really tell every story of how just absolutely frantic it was. But I think overall they did a great job showing that this was a very urgent, very fast uh, split decision or split second decision making to get out of your home and try to save yourself and your family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't you have 6 hours to get out. It was
No.
go now, move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, and and as we saw in the movie, which they did a really good job of depicting this too, that, the town was decimated. There was nothing left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I wonder, I'm so interested in filmmaking. I wonder how they created that, right? How did they make
Mm-hmm.
that happen? Did they actually film that, or did they take clips from the real life situation, or how
Mm-hmm.
they edited that together to make it look how it did? Because it looked devastated, which it was. Okay. So I definitely modified what we're talking about this week with this movie because obviously it has a much more serious tone than
Mm-hmm.
we typically talk about.
Sure.
So I'm wondering, what do you think were the best moments or the most well done moments in the movie?
So, gosh, it's hard to pick one scene because just from the moment where Nichole knows she has to get out of the hospital. She's stayed back to help evacuate, but she knows she has to get out now because the fire is engulfing all around the hospital. And so she
Mm-hmm.
leaves, but then she quickly realizes that her car is too hot. And just, you can see, and this is, again, a testament to the acting of Chrissy Metz, but she is breathing heavily and she's getting sweaty. And you can just from watching it, you can feel the heat moving in on her. And just thinking, how did people do it? Knowing that some of us might sit here and never make it out, and how brutal
Mm-hmm.
that would be. And just I don't know. She was incredible throughout, I think. And then when she finally makes it to the other area where they're triaging patients, and she just jumps right in, and even though she has been injured and she's got burns and she's been traumatized, and she's able to jump right in, and just her acting throughout is just incredible.
Yep, I completely agree. So I definitely agree about the opening hospital evacuation scene. I also think that the scene where Nichole is in the car with the doctor and she's trying to get her to leave, and the
Mm,
doctor is in so
yeah.
much shock that she is like not registering what's going on. That was such a good scene, and both of them did a
Hmm.
great job there. It was intense, and it really communicated like the panic that happens when
Yeah.
you don't know what to do, right? When you're so scared and you're supposed to be helping other people also, so you've got the weight of that on you. And I was so happy that the doctor came back later and that she made it, because I thought for
Yes. Because
sure
I was
she's
thinking, and I don't know if that's a moment that actually happened. I couldn't really find it on the internet. I don't know if you looked that up, but
Mm-mm.
yeah, because you can be as prepared as you can, especially living in a fire zone where there are evacuation techniques that you probably should know. But until and unless you are in that situation, you have no idea how you're going to respond. Are you going to be a strong leader? Are you going to be
Mm-hmm.
a follower? Are you going to completely freeze and panic? It's just, you don't know. And I think, yeah, you're right. They
Mm-hmm.
portrayed that really well.
And it was such an interesting juxtaposition between how the doctor was at the very beginning of the movie, where she was like, no nonsense, leave me alone,
Hmm.
let me do my
Very
job.
in charge.
And
Hmm.
then yes, very in charge. And then the minute she was not in control of the situation anymore, it was all bets were off. She was
Hmm.
panicked, beyond panicked.
Yeah.
And Nichole, the character of Nichole, recognized, like, I can't help her. She's not going to listen
Hmm.
to me. She's not going to do what I am asking her to do. So I just have to go.
Hmm.
Um, and if that did really happen, gosh, that had to be so unbelievably difficult to do that.
How do you leave somebody to save yourself? But clearly she was not
Hmm.
going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
She said she's going to wait it out. And I did watch a few interviews with
Hmm.
Nichole Jolly. And another aspect to this is that she had no idea if her family was okay. And she didn't know
Hmm.
until I think it was after 5 or 6 in the evening. And this all started pretty early in the morning. She had no idea.
Yeah.
Their cell phone service
Yeah.
was down. In the movie, she had lost her phone. I don't know if that actually happened, but you couldn't get through even if you had a cell phone. And she just had to have faith that they were going to find each other and be okay. And which was a big theme of the movie as well, is her faith. And she kept praying that she would make it through.
Well, yeah, and Lifetime has taken on that kind of juggernaut of themes in the last 2 movies, and I think they have 2 more that have faith as a through line, which I think is very interesting. Lifetime, to the best of my knowledge, has never done anything like that before. So,
not that I know of.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And also, it wasn't like overkill. It didn't feel like, oh my gosh, if you aren't religious, you don't want to watch this because this is like too much.
Yeah.
It was just an undercurrent in the movie. So
told her story.
Yeah. Yep. Another thing that happened in the movie that I really thought, I hesitate to say I liked it because obviously it's hard to like any of this. But when the tires were popping, that was so scary. And so you could just feel the terror in the kids and in the dad and the panic in the nurses, because everybody could hear, what is that? Oh, it's tires. They're exploding. And the little boy asking, are our tires going to pop? And the brother's like, no. And then they're singing the alphabet song to distract themselves and all of that.
Anything to
that
distract,
had to have been real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That had to have really happened.
And the way the boys jumped every time a tire would go, it was just, it was such natural acting. They were just so good. I was thinking about it as they're driving through these really, really hot areas. I was thinking, I have a little cloth top convertible that I drive. My car would be decimated in moments. But I do remember driving years and years ago, and there was a brush fire on the highway. And as you drove by, it was so hot. And that was very, very small fire. So the amount of heat that these people were having to drive through is just incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't touch the windows. Don't touch anything.
No.
Keep to yourself. They're just pouring sweat. They have no water because it's not like they were going out for a hike or something. They were just living their regular lives.
Yeah.
So my Nana always told us, keep a cooler of water in your car anywhere you go, no matter what.
Yeah.
And this would be a situation where that would be helpful for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, especially because Nana ended up living in the desert. And so she always told us, if you land in Vegas and then you have to drive 3 hours to our house, make sure you have water. You never know. If you break down, you have to have water. You live in the desert, so you should always have water in your car as well, year round, because you never know.
Yeah.
If you break down, you need to have.
Yeah. Whenever we go anywhere, all 3 kids, or all 3 kids, all 3 of us.
You have 3 kids? You didn't tell me.
I don't have 3 kids. Insulated water bottle filled with ice and water for all of us. We don't leave the house without it. Yeah, because you never know. And even if you break down here, still, if you're on the side of the road and even if it's a public area, you still may not be able to go inside somewhere right away. So it's good to have that with you. And if you live in a cold climate, have those weird aluminum, whatever they are, blankets.
Oh, those emergency blankets. It's like wrapping yourself in Jiffy Pop wrapper.
Yes. We used to have to buy those for school for our emergency packs. They don't even require that anymore. I think the school just provides it now, but
I think so.
They used to make us. Yeah.
I remember that because it'd be like, oh, you got store brand pudding. I got the real snack bag.
Yes. Yeah. Because stores used to sell the kit and you would just buy the full kit, but we usually would put together our own. And so it was like, oh, you have better snacks than me. Because at the end of the year, they would hand them back out to everybody and you get to eat all your snacks because you didn't use it.
Yeah.
So, year-old pudding. Delicious.
Yeah, it's great.
Something kids will never know about now. Okay, so when we talk about best character, I mean, I think it's kind of a given that Nichole is the best character, but what do you
100%.
think?
Definitely. Nichole and her friend Heidi, I think that was her name, the other nurse that wore the cross pendant. I loved her. They were really supportive of one another. In fact, in the beginning, it's Nicole's birthday, we find out right from the start of the movie. And she's trying to get her into the break room, but Nicole's too busy with her patients and she just can't figure out why. Why do I need to go to the break room? I don't need another cup of coffee. I'm good. I'm good. And the whole thing was that she was trying to get her in there to have a little birthday celebration, a little cupcake. And that's where they find out that the fire is really getting closer and closer. But I just love their friendship together and the way they supported one another.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen The Pit?
No, I don't think so. Is that a movie or a show?
Okay. It's a TV show. It just, there's only one season so far. They just renewed it for a second season, but it has Noah Wyle. He plays an ER doctor. And it's excellent.
All he plays?
I know.
He only plays doctors.
But the charge nurse in that show reminds me a lot of her friend in this movie. They look very similar. They act very similar. So, but yeah, The Pit is definitely like, it's a graphic ER style show, but it's very good. It's all based on one day and every episode is 1 hour.
Oh,
so it's kind of like 24. But Noah Wyle is just A+, excellent in it. So good. And yeah, so I would recommend it. It's not Hallmarky, but it's more on the Lifetime edge of things.
What network is that on?
It's very good.
Netflix?
HBO.
HBO. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. All right. I also kind of thought about what was the toughest character to watch. What was the most difficult thing to watch in the movie? Oh, okay. Obviously, the patient that we got to know for like 2 minutes in the beginning of the movie, and then we see that she passes away. That was pretty difficult to watch, I think. And that whole scene was written really well. The makeup was good.
Oh my gosh.
The
dialogue I wasn't expecting that.
No. So I just felt like that deserved a call out because the actress did a great job and they all did. And the fact that Nicole's character is like, no, don't cover her up. Let's roll her over here so that nobody gets scared, and just all of these like little things. Yeah. I don't know. They just brought another level of impact to the film, I thought.
I thought the fire chief did a really great job too, because you have to be sensible. You have to keep your head about you. You have to have a plan. You can't get, even though it's a very emotional thing, because this town, as it was portrayed, and I'm sure it's a small town, it's how it was, many people know one another. And so you're seeing people not making it out, or people, separated from their families. And he just really portrayed that really well as somebody that really has a plan and is, he's got the community at heart. And yeah, I was so glad nothing happened to him. Although that sounds weird because this is a real movie, obviously. But yeah, he's just, to be able to keep your wits about you while all this is going on around you and knowing that you and everyone around you may not make it out is just amazing. And I'd love to see an interview with him. The real one.
Yes. When he was telling Nichole, I'll see you, or I'll be right behind you, I think he said. I thought, oh no, he's not, we're not going to see him again. He's not going to make it out. But he did, which I think obviously was great. Because I don't know the statistics on this fire, but I know that there were plenty of people who did not make it out, sadly.
85. So. It was 85.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Did you do much research into what started it and how it transpired?
No.
So I looked it up, and it's California's deadliest wildfire. Started by an electrical arc between a faulty Pacific Gas and Electric transmission line and a steel tower, leading to molten metal igniting dry vegetation.
And they showed that in the movie.
Yeah, it spread very quickly, but this company had had multiple citations for faulty or damaged equipment, and they just kept using it over and over again. They later pleaded guilty to multiple felony counts, including involuntary manslaughter, reckless arson for starting the fire. They have a long history of safety violations, and their equipment has been linked to many brush fires in California. Just crazy. And so there was a huge
You know,
lawsuit.
this is the kind of crap that pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
And these are
Yeah,
the big corporations who are like, let's just do it anyways and we'll pay the fine. It's fine,
exactly.
And it's just like, when are we going to say, that's enough? We're not just going to fine
Hmm.
you. Like, your CEO is going to prison for the rest of his life. And,
Yeah.
like, because these billion-dollar companies don't care if they have to pay $100 million fine. Cool.
No, because
They're still making money.
you don't send companies to jail. You send people to jail. But yeah, the CEO should be held responsible. They have multiple
Yeah. It's,
citations, and they just keep going because it's easier to pay off the families than to replace all the equipment. But we're talking people's lives here,
yep.
not just, you know, maybe I lost my farm or whatever. These are actual people, not just their dwellings. And
Hmm.
they just don't seem to care. And
Yeah.
it makes me so mad.
Yeah. Or they just count on, well, we'll just sue them into the ground. Well, if they
Hmm.
take us to court, fine. They won't be able to afford it after a certain amount of
Hmm.
time. And then
Yeah.
they'll have to drop the lawsuit. And
Yeah.
that's
We can
what a
hold
lot of
out.
these big companies count on. And
Hmm.
unfortunately, it's what happens. Because it's just the way our legal system is built. And it's just, it's so frustrating because it's pharmaceuticals, it's in food,
Hmm.
it's in this kind of
Yeah.
behavior, it's in water, it's every single thing that big companies have their hands on. And not to say all big companies are bad, because they
No,
aren't, but
no.
unfortunately, a lot of them are. So,
Hmm. Yeah. And they think they can just write a
uh,
check at the end of the day and all will be good. And this fire burned so hot and so fast, fueled by the winds on top of it, that it said that it
mhm.
would burn 80 football fields a minute. That's how fast it was going. I watched a documentary. Yeah, there's a
Can you
documentary on,
imagine?
it's just crazy. You could just, you could be sitting and watching it just go right across the whole canyon. And the problem was they saw it at first and they weren't terribly worried about it because they get fires up there all the time. But because of the winds and how fast it moved, the what's it called, Camp Road, they couldn't get fire trucks through there,
Hmm.
so they were not able to address the flames until they were much further down the canyon. There's an excellent documentary on, you can find it on YouTube. I watched it last night, and it's from Frontline PBS, and it's an hour-long documentary on the Camp Creek fires. If you want to find out more details about how they dealt with it, the aftermath, and rebuilding, and all that, it's very interesting.
Oh, okay. I'll have to watch that
Okay.
maybe while I'm making dinner. I'll watch that.
Yeah.
Um, okay. So our last episode we talked about style moments, and we kind of called this out a little bit. Obviously, the costuming was kind of one of the least important parts of this movie, but
Hmm.
it did play an important role in communicating the reality of the situation, like we talked about.
Hmm.
The basically no makeup on anybody, the
Hmm.
hair that was crazy mess, the
Yeah.
clothes that were falling apart or had caught on fire, and
Hmm.
all of those things really came together to create another layer of this story. And I
Hmm.
think it couldn't have been told as well if the visuals weren't as good as they were.
I agree. And I think initially, even before the fire started, showing the nurses, and they're all in their scrubs and they have regular, maybe just light makeup and hair in messy ponytails, messy buns, like you would see a nurse in a hospital, not overly done up
Mhm.
like some shows you see, like I mentioned before with the false eyelashes or, the bright red lips. You're not going to see that in a hospital. You're going to see regular, clean faces and they're just there to do their job. And I think that was, there was one costume fail though that I noticed. And I imagine they used a lot of extras, people for the background people. And one woman, she was wearing a puffy jacket, and it was November, so it was cooler there at the time. But she's wearing a puffy jacket, and you see her when they're in the second medical location. I think it's the mom's hospital where the mom works. Anyway, they've got the sliding doors. She walks in the door. She's looking around frantically. She sees her family member, and they hug and embrace. And you think, okay, that's great. That's somebody that's found their family. And then later in the movie, you see this same woman. They should have just taken off the puffy jacket, and I wouldn't have even noticed. But she's being pushed around in a wheelchair. She's a patient now. So your dad was kind of watching the end of it with me. Yeah. He's like, wait, didn't they just show her? Yes, they did. So
just take off the jacket. It's these little things.
Just take off the jacket. I never would have known. And there was one elderly gentleman, I swear, he came in the sliding doors a couple of times coming in to be treated, because Nichole kept looking at the doors, hoping that her family would walk in. So I was really watching those doors, and I swear he came in more than one time.
Yeah.
But these are just little things. Didn't take away from the
Where
movie.
was the script supervisor here?
Exactly. Can we get a jacket off of that lady and maybe put her hair in a ponytail? No one will ever know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. What do you think was the best relationship in the movie?
Well, like I said before, I really liked the relationship between Nichole and Heidi, the other nurse. I don't know that we saw enough of her relationship with her husband in the beginning to really get a sense. You got a sense that the marriage was strained because she wasn't around enough, and he really wanted to try, and she seemed like she was more focused on her patients than the family. Again, I don't know how accurate that was, or how if that was actually part of their story, but
okay, go sit down, goofball.
But I don't know. I think there were so many interactions that were just good. Nichole with the doctor, like we mentioned before, in the car, and she was trying to coax her out and get her to run to safety with her, and the doctor not wanting to leave. But then later, when they find out that she's still alive, and they just really band together and get to working on helping the people of the community. So it just, so many different intricacies of relationships that I thought were really good and worked really well together. Yeah. What about you?
Yep. I really liked a lot of it. Yeah. Because they didn't fully flesh out most of the relationships in the movie, but I did like seeing Nichole and her mom, because her mom is also a nurse at a neighboring hospital. And she gets there and she's so happy to see her mom. And I definitely teared up during that scene. And because she's like kind of panicking, trying to figure out, maybe I should go back out there and I should find my family. And her mom's like trying to ground her and bring her back to reality and be like, you can't do that. That you're not going to help anybody by doing that. You just need to stay here and do your job. And your family will come at some point. And I really appreciated that interaction. I think that was an important part of the film. It just showed like she's still thinking about her family, but she's being made aware like that's not going, because as a mom, you obviously are going to be thinking, oh, I got to go get them. But in all reality, is that going to help anything? Probably not.
Well, I noticed attention to a lot of detail because, Nichole's been walking through this intense heat, and she gets back to this medical facility and they have to wrap up her calves because they are severely burned. And that's just one detail that I thought was great. And also, Heidi, the other nurse, Nichole notices that her neck is all red and inflamed, and she realizes that her stethoscope had been around her neck and it literally burned to her neck. And just little details that probably did happen and that you wouldn't even think about. But it was so important to keep these things in the movie so that you could really get a sense of what it was like out there.
Well, I think that's the difference between, obviously, like the Brittany Ever After movie was not as serious as this movie, but it's the difference between having the real person involved and not having them involved at all.
Yeah.
And being able to have those little anecdotes to pull from make it feel so much more grounded and real.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't have a ton of behind the scenes details because it was filmed in South Africa and there wasn't a lot of reporting on it, but I did decide to do a little bit of a deep dive on Chrissy Metz herself to share with everyone because she is such an interesting, well-rounded, multi-passionate person. And I learned a lot of cool stuff about her.
Okay.
So first of all, she wrote and performed Last Day in Paradise, which is the song that rolls at the end of the movie over the credits.
Oh.
So I can't play it here because we'll get copyrighted. But I would recommend go look it up on YouTube. It's on her YouTube channel. It's a beautiful song. It will probably make you cry, especially if you've seen the movie. But yeah, it's great. And she's a really great singer. And that's why she lives in Nashville because she's singing and writing and producing there at the moment. So I loved that. I thought that was really cool. So we've got actress and we've got singer and writer. She has also written multiple children's books. So she's got a book called When I Talk to God, I Talk About You. And When I Talk to God, I Talk About Feelings. And they are so cute. They're like little animal. Well, actually, I had them pulled up. So let me show them to you. Show the screen. Or not. Okay.
Technology is not our friend today.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Here we go. Entire screen. Okay, never mind. It's not going to let me. So anyways, you can look them up on Amazon and on Barnes & Noble. They're on sale for 50% off. So you can grab them at Barnes & Noble. But they're both faith-based children's books that talk about real life issues and about feelings. And then as a companion to those books, she also has a children's album called Big Feelings that just came out recently.
Oh, now does she have children?
No, she does not.
No.
Yeah.
She just has a heart for kids.
She has a partner. She's not married currently and she doesn't have any children, but yeah, she just has a heart for kids and for music and for her faith. And then the last thing I found is that she also co-owns a wine company with winemaker Nichole Walsh, which I also wanted to show you, but I can't because this is not letting me. Yeah, no. I don't know. It's not letting me. Okay, that's fine.
Well, maybe we can put that up on our Instagram.
Wine, yes, it's called Joyful Heart Wine. Their season 1 is sold out, so you can't buy any right now. Season 2 is coming in 2026. It reminds me of the Candace Cameron Bure wines that like it sells out like that, and you can't get it. But their like tagline is our wine isn't just wine, it's love bottled. A reminder to toast the good stuff, gather your people, and celebrate what truly matters.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So now I want to buy it. So I put myself on the list. They have a white, a rosé, and a red wine. So in 2026, they'll have a restock.
Okay.
Their wine.
That's not that far away, actually.
No, it really isn't. No, it's not at all. So, okay, so that's all about Chrissy Metz. If you want to see more from her, you can go and watch Hunting Wives on Netflix right now, or you can go back and start This Is Us from the beginning if you haven't watched that. It's an NBC show. I'm not sure where you can watch it, probably on Peacock. I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but she's a superstar on that show. Okay, and then the last thing I wanted to talk about before we rate the movie is what's Nichole Jolly up to now? Because Nichole Jolly is a real life person. So I did a little research on her and what she's doing right now. And her most recent interview was in relation to this movie because, like I said, she was involved in the movie. She was at the red carpet premiere for the movie. So the interview was in July of 2025. So since November of 2019, Nichole has served as an expert registered nurse at Butte College. And she's also been working as a hospice nurse at Valley View Hospice and Palliative Care Center. She still resides in her hometown of Paradise, California with her family, and they share a passion for horseback riding. Nichole even competed in the Tevis Endurance Ride in 2021. And they also care for animals such as pigs, chickens, and multiple dogs. Despite losing her home in the wildfire, Nichole returned to work as soon as she could. Her family received community support through fundraising efforts such as GoFundMe and PayPal campaigns. So that's what Nichole is up to now.
Did I miss something? Because I thought at the end of the movie it said that their home wasn't lost. Against all odds, their home wasn't lost. Or did I misread that?
Oh, I don't know. I thought when she saw her husband, she said, "Our house is gone."
In the
she said,
movie.
"Everything's..." In the movie, yes. Did she not lose it? I don't know. I don't know that they asked her this in the interview I read.
I thought there was a little caption at the end that said, despite all odds, their house was not lost.
Let's see. It said, this says Nichole Jolly lost her home in the California wildfires.
Oh, she did.
And
So I must have misread that.
Yeah, she returned to Paradise, California 2 months after the deadliest and most destructive fire in the state's history.
Okay. And the town is mostly rebuilt, is what I read. 3,000 new homes.
Oh, and it was her childhood. It was her childhood home where 3 generations had grown up. Oh, that's even worse.
But her family still intact.
Horrible. Yes. Yes. But her cat was there. Oh my gosh.
Her cat made it?
Her cat was alive. Yes.
Oh. I wonder where he hid out because it got so hot. But I did see an interview with her, and she was talking about when she was reunited with her family. It wasn't actually at the hospital. Her mom drove her, and her boys and her husband were at another house somewhere, a neighbor or something that did survive. And she was not yelling, but telling her mom, drive faster, he's waiting for me in the driveway. And the mom's like, I can't go any faster. The speed limit's only blah, blah, blah. She said, then stop the car. And she ran down to meet she said she was actually running faster than her mom was driving. So I thought that was really cute.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they probably just couldn't afford another location. So they just kept it in the hospital.
Probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
After there was a fire in 2008, and it was recommended that new evacuation plans should be instated in the area, and wider roads were needed in the event of a future fire. But apparently they never got the funding because they weighed, what are the chances that something like this is going to happen again? And so they never widened the roads. And so that was a part of the problem, that people just could not get out fast enough. So I think that's been remedied now. The roads have been widened, but can you imagine just being stuck and knowing that you have to get out and that fire's coming up right behind you and there's nothing you can do?
Yeah. I mean, there's, with the floods that happened here in Texas just a month and a half ago, there's a lot of talk about there were things that should have been done a long time ago to prevent this kind of disaster from happening. And they just, they didn't have the money. They didn't get the approval from city council, whatever the case may be. I'm not sure the exact details, but it's like, there's so many disasters like this that happen where it's like, oh yeah, we knew this could happen, but we didn't move fast enough, or there just wasn't money for it, or whatever it is. And it's just so sad. So hopefully, that now that they've had time to rebuild and they're doing it in a way that's going to allow people to get out if, heaven forbid, something like this were to happen again. Unfortunately, California is on fire a lot, so it's scary.
Well, and the documentary that I was watching, it said that, they expect fires every year, and usually it's not a big problem. They're able to put them out relatively quickly, or they burn themselves out.
Yeah.
But because of climate change, it's already warmer than it was 50 years ago. It's like 2.5 degrees warmer than it used to be. There's higher winds. Everything's so dry, and so it sweeps through so fast that they're helpless to do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awful. Yeah. And I think about people who live like in Tornado Alley, which I've never lived anywhere where there's tornadoes, although I have still experienced one, even though Washington isn't supposed to get tornadoes, but we did
that
one
was
time.
so weird. Uh-huh.
That was crazy. But it's just like you have minutes and you just have to get into a storm cellar or a basement or whatever and hope that your house is still there when it's over. And man, scary. So
yeah. Speaking of tornadoes, there was one part in the movie where the youngest son said, "Is that a fire tornado?" And the brother said, "No, it's not," or something, or "Yes, it is." I can't remember, but I expected them to embellish on that, like maybe there were some, but they really didn't. So I looked it up. There weren't any fire tornadoes during this particular fire, but it is a thing. It's a spinning vortex of hot air and flames caused by strong winds interacting with the heat from the wildfire, and it's strong enough to knock down trees and spread the fire even quicker. And that didn't happen during the campfire, but it was a factor in the 2018 CARR fire in Redding, California, where it just whips up a tornado and then it just pushes the fire even further and faster. How terrifying.
Can you imagine? That sounds like, it honestly sounds like something like out of an Avengers movie. It doesn't even sound like something that could be real.
Or hell, yeah.
Oh,
it's just
so
crazy.
scary.
And they were saying
or hell. Yeah.
there were embers the size of pie plates that were falling from the trees, and then that was causing more fires or more injuries, and it just, like something you would see in a movie.
Oh, man. Yeah. So scary. Oh, gosh. Well, we're glad that Paradise has rebuilt quite a bit since this tragedy happened, and I'm really glad that Lifetime and Chrissy Metz were able to tell this story really well, because it's no secret that sometimes Lifetime misses the mark on this type of film and does a really bad job. But somehow they lassoed in Chrissy Metz, and she did a great job. The script was, I thought, really good. So we had a lot of people participating who knew what they were doing and did the story justice. Okay. So I did not give a fun attribute to this movie for rating it, because I didn't feel like that was appropriate.
I agree.
So I think just stars will suffice for this particular film. If that sounds okay to you.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I thought it was really well done within the time constraints of filmmaking. Could they have pushed a little more to show the absolute frantic nature, of people running and trying to get away? Maybe, but I feel like it was understood. They had to get out, and they had to get out quickly. The special effects I thought were great. Again, like we mentioned before, I'm not sure if part of that was pulled from actual wildfires or if there's some sort of effects magic that they used, but I was convinced, from the smoke to the red glow of the whole town. And in the documentary, they were talking about how it went from day to night in the middle of the morning because the smoke was so thick and the flames were so high and everything went red, and then it got dark, and it was like driving at night. It was just, and I think they did a really good job in portraying that in the movie as well.
Yeah, they must have filmed at night.
Yeah, I would think so.
They had to have. Yeah.
In order to get that effect. And then Chrissy Metz, she was a great actress, and she is a great actress, and she did a really good job of being kind of the workaholic, the work first, patients first, family second, and it kind of comes full circle in the end and shows how, the whole town lost everything, but they still had each other, and that was what they're thankful for. And I feel like, if this is
Mm-hmm.
part of her real story, the real Nichole Jolly, that I would imagine that she's so thankful that her family is together and survived, that probably changed that dynamic a little bit as far as working so hard and
Yeah.
neglecting your family. So, yeah, I think, um, I, hesitate to say I enjoyed the movie. I think it was a really well done movie, very impactful, very intense, really well done. And I'm going to give it 4 stars out of 5.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like I feel about this movie the same way I felt about that Melissa Joan Hart movie that had to do with
Mhm.
elder abuse.
Yes.
It's hard to say you liked it,
Mhm.
um, but as much as you can,
Mhm.
you do. I think I agree with you. If they would have had and I'm sure this is a monetary constraint, having more background actors to communicate a little bit more of the like running around back and forth panic.
Mhm.
But again, probably a money thing because
Yeah.
we know they film these movies in 14 days. They're only 90
Mhm.
minutes long. They have a relatively short runway, in a week or two, this movie probably won't even be talked about ever again.
Mhm.
And that's just kind of the nature of made for TV movies. Um, but I thought they did a beautiful job. The acting was great. Like I said before, um, they all sounded like they were from California. We didn't have any bleed through of
Yeah.
accents, which
Yeah.
was surprising and great. All
Mhm.
the actors were really good. The husband I thought was particularly great, even though we didn't see a lot of him.
Mhm.
I thought he was wonderful. And I believed they were in California. I never would have guessed that they were in South
Oh, no.
Africa. So they did a really good job with that. So I too am going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize until after I watched it that it was filmed in South Africa, and I never would have had a clue. I just assumed it
No,
was
I just
California.
assumed Vancouver because I always just
Oh,
assume
that
Vancouver.
too. Mhm.
But yeah. So, or Utah. They do film some movies in Utah, I think.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, okay. So do you want to give a quick rundown of the movie we're doing next week?
So we're doing a Great American Pure Flix movie called Someone Like You, and it was written by New York Times bestselling author Karen Kingsbury, starring Sarah Fisher and Jake Allen. And the premise of the movie, from what I haven't watched it yet, obviously, but Jake has a best friend who ends up passing away, and then it becomes his mission to find her long lost twin sister, and see what develops from there.
Okay. Did she write the teleplay as well, or just the book?
Mhm. Teleplay as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
Cool. Awesome. I'm excited to see that one because I think that was their only new movie this year so far, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think they've had any. They've had one series, but I think that was their only movie so far.
Mhm.
So, all right, cool. Well, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Love on the Pod and share your episode thoughts or ideas by emailing us at loveonthepod@gmail.com. Plus, you can text us with future movie recommendations using the link in our show notes. If you loved this episode and want to hear more, please subscribe to the podcast as we drop new episodes weekly. So, whether you're saving patients from a natural disaster,
Or helping neighbors rebuild.
we hope you always have a little faith. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.